everybody. This is the True Old Farts. My name's Chuck.
I'm looking on the brother looking at the True Old Farts.
You are pretty handsome looking today. I'll give you that. You must have showered and washed your hair. It's looking all pretty.
Yeah.
Got it's all combed out.
The True Old Fart shirt on.
Yep. Pretty stretched out. Pretty smooth across the belly.
That's from that fat cat. and keeps everything straight.
Yeah, no, keep everything smooth right across here in the middle.
Well, give it another 10 years, you'll be like that. Maybe 15.
Yeah, maybe 5. Maybe 5. Who knows?
You never. You work out. You run a lot. I got to start doing that myself. Well, my shoulder is killing me. I don't know if I stretched it doing some work in the backyard, slept on it wrong or what, but I didn't want to go to the emergency room, so I have my primary care physician appointment tomorrow, so I'll see my primary care doctor. And I don't know if it's bursitis or if I don't think I tore a rotator cuff. But I'm tell you,
It's probably all of the above.
But I got one heck of a pain in here. Whenever I stretch it or I pick up something just a little bit of weight, it's like a pinch, a real sting, right in the muscle there. So it's must make you say an ugly word every now and then.
Yep, just getting old. And speaking of getting old, I mean, hell, I'm not even your age. And you get a good sneeze going, you could throw your back out. I ain't lying, man.
And all this pollen growing around, that don't help either. All the oak and stuff. Boy, my back.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Covered with that yellow stuff.
And every time I take the dogs out, they come in and they're just covered with that, not the pollen, but whatever's coming out of the oak trees, that little fuzzy stuff.
Oh, yeah, that yellow stuff.
No, it's green. It's fuzzy. It just drops on the ground while after the leaves have grown out. It sticks to the dogs.
Yeah, mine's yellow. It's like a little yellow round pod stuff is on long little stems and stuff like that. I got enough back I might have got there next week and rake it up. The whole backyard is solid in it.
So the internet says they are called male catkins.
Okay.
The trees are dropping male catkins, which carry the female flowers of the tree.
Okay.
And the male dachshund, he's been eating that crap and he threw it up last night. And they always throw it up either at bedtime or while you're sleeping.
Right.
Because there ain't nothing that can make somebody move like an Olympic sprinter till they hear their dog going. Boy, you hear that thing, she's come flying off the bed.
Yeah, you got two problems. You only got to take care of the dog, and then the wife's going to be on it. Clean that mess up.
Had that problem last night. She's like, "What are you going to do?" I'm like, I got him off the bed. He wandered to the door, opened the door. I said, "Do you want him throwing up on the tile or do you want him throwing up on the carpet? Take your pick." Then she yelled at me, "Well, you let him throw up in the grout." I'm like, "Come on, dog. Don't throw up in the grout. She's going to get mad."
Yeah, like you got a lot of choice. Like, come on, dog. Let me teach you where to throw up at.
Exactly.
That's the way
we cannot do right with our wives. I'll tell you that right now.
We do right. We just got to make sure what they want to do is right.
Again, we can't do right.
But it's fun. Boy, I'll tell you. 59 years and counting here shortly, so I guess we're doing something right. How many you got? 30? How many?
This is 29 coming up.
29?
For a second marriage, that's pretty dang good.
And for you, that's pretty damn good. They kept you around.
Yeah, she got me around. She must have saw some potential in me.
Yes, she did. She probably talked to your mom, so let me say hi and take care of this little puppy.
Yep, she got me house trained now.
That's what makes life fun, makes what goes around.
And it's been a busy month for me.
Has it?
Brenda and I had 2 concerts at the beginning of the month on a Friday and a Saturday. Then the next week we had a concert. Yeah, Friday had a concert. Then during spring break last week, I took 2 days off. I took the Monday off because she had something going on with her mom. And then I left work early on Wednesday because Mackenzie came home late Tuesday night. And then I took Thursday off. And she went back to school or went back to her apartment. So she spent time with the boyfriend. So I spent about a day and a half with Mackenzie.
Well, you got lucky. You got a day and a half.
Yeah. And then so she's supposed to stay around with her mom just because I'll be able to telework tomorrow. So she decided to, just take that and spend some time with her mom. You know what? I'm looking at the calendar. Guess what today is?
You what?
Guess what today is? I just now looked at the calendar.
Today's St. Patrick's Day.
Man, I didn't even think about that. I ain't got any green on. I better throw some green on today.
Well,
Y'all can't see the.
I got some.
Well, y'all should be able to see it later on YouTube. I got my
information
Brian
about
Sesser.
Patrick's Day.
What's that?
I got some information about St. Patrick's Day.
You gonna tell us about St. Patrick?
Yeah. Do you know the original color was not green, it was blue?
Did not know that.
Yeah. When it goes back to, let me get my notes here. I didn't know that it is. I get that Danish stuff about events and stuff like that. But it was used to represent Ireland starting with King Henry VIII in 1541. The English monarchs declared themselves king and presented the Irish kingdom a new coat of arms. The first link between Ireland and the color blue background. In 1783, King George established the Order of St. Patrick in Ireland, and it was shade known as St. Patrick Blue. However, those symbols were imposed by the Irish upon the Irish people by the English oppressors, and the color blue never reflected the true Irish adopted color green. Then a rebellion in 1642 kind of changed that as a symbol of the national pride, replacing the old blue colors found in many Irish flags and emblems, and back to green. I thought that was pretty interesting.
It is pretty interesting, but you know what St. Patrick did?
Yes, I do.
What did he do?
He was a priest. He was actually enslaved when he was 16 years old by the British. He's actually, they think, from Britain. Let's see, from Ireland. He was a herder in Ireland, turned into a deep religious factor for comfort and he was a minister or preacher for over 40 years, and he had a dream one night, and he escaped and found passage on a ship written where he was eventually reunited with his family. He studied for the priesthood, and he was ordained as a bishop. He arrived in Ireland in 433. He began preaching the gospel. So after 40 years of living in poverty, traveling, teaching, working, he died on March 17, 461 in Saul, where he built his first church. So I did some research on him. So,
didn't he drive the snakes out of Ireland?
Do I?
Didn't he drive the snakes out of Ireland?
Well, that's one of the myths that he drove all the snakes out of Ireland. They talk about stories being told about him and stuff like that, and that's one of the myths that he drove. He stomped on all the snakes and drove them out of Ireland.
Yeah, but they're saying there was no evidence that snakes ever really existed on the island. So
Right.
That's the legend.
The first St. Patrick's Day parade did not actually take place in Ireland. You know where it took place?
New York City.
New York City.
Hey, that was a good guess, wasn't it? That was a pretty good guess.
As the years went on, the parade became a show of unity and strength for persecuted Irish Americans. The party went global in 1995, which the Irish government began a large-scale campaign to mark St. Patrick's Day. And they changed the water to green and that kind of stuff. Interesting. So how much of our ancestry is Irish? Do you remember?
Well, since I had my DNA done and done a little bit of studying on DNA, it's a variable sliding scale. You don't get 50-50 from your parents.
Right.
Like you could get 80% of one parent and 20 from another. It could be 100 and none. You know what I'm saying? It's very selective. It's very hard to describe. But my DNA, and I'll say, get my number, security code to log in to verify it's me.
Well, based on what
Let's
I've been
see.
told, I don't know how much this is true stuff, but your great grandfather, my father's grandfather, was Irish. I'm not sure how much. At least that's the conversation I was told, and his name was Arch McFerguson.
Yes. Yes. However, comma, don't know what his DNA is, but I know what yours is, and I know what mine is.
Okay.
So, according to Ancestry, I am 61% England and Northwestern European. So when I zoom in on it, that includes all of England, a little bit of Wales, a little bit of Scotland, and it kind of dips down into Belgium, France, and kind of slithers on into Switzerland just a little bit.
Right.
And then I am 14% Scottish.
Okay.
I am 8% Irish. See here. 6% Swedish and Denmark. 2% Germanic Europe. And 1% Cameroon, Congo, and the Western Bantu peoples, according to my DNA.
Well, you get that Irish part of it from your great grandfather. And then,
You don't know that.
Yeah, I can try that.
But I'm going to tell you where I get it from. Let's see. How do we calculate this? Look at your estimate. Hang on. Let me see if I can pull up you. Compare my DNA. Hang on. Slow your roll, Fart. Slow your roll. So, from the England, Northwestern Europe, 53% is from you. You have 53%. Mom has 59%. So I get 61. You have 13% Scottish. Mom has 17% Scottish. I have 14. The Wales. Mom has none. You have 7. I have 8.
That's strange, huh?
Ireland. Yep, Ireland. You have 17. Mom has 7. I have 8%. Sweden and Denmark. Who do you think I get that from? You or Mom?
Your mom.
All from you. You have 9%. Mom has 0. I have 6. Now, the Germanic European. Whose side of the family do you think that comes from? You or Mom?
Probably me.
Nope. Mom has 12%. You have 0. And I have 2%.
You're striking out all over here.
You're striking out all over. So, yes. Now, just because you have Irish and Scottish, you don't know which side of the family it comes from. I mean, you really don't.
Well, you get the Belgium probably from your mom.
Well, that's that European Northwestern Europe part. And you bring in a little bit of that as well. But like I said, that it's a big span that goes from like Scotland all through England, and then across the channel into Belgium and France, and then it goes all the way down into Switzerland, really.
Right.
So anywhere in that region, your ethnicity can come from, because they continue to update your numbers. Like when I first had it back, it was like 90-some% English and Irish. And then it slowly has been diluted down, because as more people do DNA, that's how they compare it.
Right. I guess the more that you reach out to like family members and stuff like that, the more information you get. I'm not sure.
Well, by having you and Mom having done your DNA, it is much more accurate for me.
Right.
And then it shows on a parental ethnicity inheritance, which I just told you about. It shows like a circle, one half is the paternal and the other half is the maternal, and then it shows me. So because there's so much England, Northwestern Europe from both of you, I get a lot. Mom has more of it than you do.
Yeah.
Mom has more Welsh, and you have none. But you have all of the Sweden, Denmark, and Mom has none. You see what I'm saying?
That's kind of strange, huh?
Yeah, and if my sister were to get her DNA done, her numbers would be completely different than mine because it's just a gamble on how much from each parent they get. It's not a 50-50 proposition like you would normally think. So I got 61%, whereas you got 21% and Mom has 40%. I guess I got all of it combined.
Mm-hmm. So which website did you get this from? Which
Ancestry. That's where you did your DNA.
Right.
But if you don't have an account, you're not going to be able to see it.
Speaking of switching, I got a picture from your sister this morning. She took they're on a trip up at one of the Alps and stuff. Some gun is covered with snow.
It's still large. It's still pretty cold over there. She been gone 2 weeks now?
That's a 10-day trip for her. She'll be back Tuesday night, late Tuesday, like 8, 9 o'clock, something like that, Tuesday evening.
But she's been gone since last week, right?
Yeah, so it's a 10-day trip for her.
Okay.
That's good. I'm glad she had a chance to go, and she enjoys those trips, and that's a lot of fun. Last time she brought me back some flower seeds I'm gonna plant next week from Germany. I'm sorry, from Italy, Paris, France. So
Italy.
So she's supposed to be bringing me some this time from either Germany and Switzerland, someplace, wherever she could find some without going out of her way. So I'm planting in my backyard underneath that crepe myrtle I have back in the corner with big gooseberry.
Okay.
When flowers and stuff start to come around, they're starting to grow. I got some 3 little small tomatoes on my tomato plant. Got some small little sweet and green peppers, sweet red peppers, green peppers start to grow.
Okay.
And I got all that yellow stuff all over the ground. I got to get out. But that's just stuff I like to do. I got that one tree in the backyard that your granny loved, in Althea bush. We actually have 3 of them back here. 2 of them, one that your mom bought for her, she bought it, and then another I bought for her. And those 2 are doing real well. My original one, nothing on it. It's just, she says it's dead. I said, well, we got to give it to at least about the middle of April. If it has nothing by the middle of April, I'll probably have to cut it down.
Yeah, if it ain't got nothing on it now, I guarantee you it's probably dead.
Yeah. I just think I like to fool around with and stuff like that. And just kind of keeps you in touch with your ancestry and what your granny liked to do. So I don't do it on the scale she did.
No.
Well, that's funny how she used. Your Uncle Ray and Uncle Gene had to do things. Your granny had a pretty good sized garden every year.
Yeah, she did.
Your Uncle Gene had to till the ground because Ray didn't know how. So Gene would bring his tractor down. He had one of those little small tractors, and he'd have to till the ground. And Ray had to watch because Ray didn't know how to do it. He needed to learn how to do it. So after he got it tilled, Ray had to lay the rows out because Gene didn't know how to do it. He couldn't do it right. So Mom would watch and she'd make Ray, you go lay them rows out. So then Mom would come behind. It depended on what she was planting. If it was plants, then she would go drop them. And Ray had to cover them up and plant them. And then Gene had to take the plow and go by and had that scoop plow that put the dirt up I think put a little fertilizer down and stuff like that and cover it because Ray didn't know how to do it. But I'm going to tell you what, Granny had a ton of vegetables every year. She used to give away to everybody in the community, and they'd bring her stuff. They'd do a little trade and stuff. And when she passed away, we threw away hundreds of jars of stuff she had canned, jams and jellies. There's a guy from Eufaula. Now, you remember where Eufaula is at, just down south of that. I don't know all the story about him, but he would bring fruit to her every year for her to can. Because the way she canned it, she put it in either pint jars or quart jars, whatever, however he wanted, because he sold that stuff. And he made a killing off of that stuff because of your granny's preserves and jams and jellies that she made. And she loved doing that. Well, she had that big old pot she put on the stove, and it's just, those are good memories.
If I had only known then what I know now, I'd have put her to work. We made some money.
Yeah, we could have if we thought about it and stuff like that, you know. She was a good cook. I want to tell you, I loved her cornbread. I loved them biscuits. Boy,
I love that okra.
Oh, man. Nobody cooked okra like Granny.
Nobody makes it like how she made it.
I don't know. You know, she'd cut that okra up and she'd batter it in cornmeal. I think she mixed cornmeal and flour together. And she'd batter that stuff and she cooked it. Oh, man, that stuff was good.
And she cooked it in the oven, people, on
Yes.
on a baking sheet.
Yep. Yes.
I've never seen anybody cook it like that. I've never tasted anything like that. It was so good. I would open up the oven and burn my fingers grabbing the okra off of the pan. It burned my head. And then I throw it in my mouth. My tongue is burned, but I don't care. It tasted that good. It was so bad. By the time it was done cooking, probably 15-20% of that okra was gone because I ain't done ate it out of the oven. People getting mad.
She was a cook. Well, I want to tell you. The only thing my dad...
You better get there early when she was cooking, too. Because once you put it on the table, it was first come, first serve. If you got there late...
You didn't get nothing.
You didn't get nothing.
Yeah,
you might make a ham sandwich.
If she had all the grandkids over, boy, it was a fight who was going to get to that kitchen table first.
You were through.
I actually didn't get to the kitchen table. Usually, didn't get any further than the stove. Because you take it up and put it on top of that stove, and when it was gone.
Sure enough.
Yeah. Then the only thing your grandfather used to cook, Papa, was chitlin cornbread. Oh, man, I cannot stand that stuff. He cooked cornbread, put chitlins in it, and bake it in the oven. You get cornbread, sweet milk, or buttermilk, sweet milk. So I had to take the chitlins out and eat the cornbread, but he loved that chitlin cornbread.
So for you Yankees and non-country folk, sweet milk is just regular whole milk, people. It's just regular whole milk. It's not sweet milk.
It's sweet milk.
If you're from the South, if you're country, you might call it sweet milk.
You just go out and milk those cows. I used to only have one, maybe two at the most, at any one time. Bring it back in. Your granny had a cloth. We just poured it through there and strained it. Wash that cloth out, hang it up, let it dry, and use it again the next day.
Did you make her own butter?
We used to churn that stuff. She had a big old churn, and we would put that milk in it, and it had to sit there for 2 or 3 days to start to sour a little bit, and then we would churn it, make the butter, separate the butter, and drink the milk.
Separate the cream, I think,
the cream,
isn't it?
Yeah, well, the cream would make butter, then you got buttermilk. That's where the buttermilk came from.
But it's really just sour milk.
Well, we call it buttermilk.
You don't drink buttermilk, do you?
No, can't stand that
Me
stuff.
either. That stuff's nasty.
But I'm going to tell you what, your Uncle Gene loved it. Oh, man, he drank some buttermilk.
And the apple bowl drinks some buttermilk.
Yeah, and Ray. I don't think Carolyn drank much buttermilk, but Uncle Ray did, and Uncle Gene did. And the other thing we used to do was make our own homemade ice cream. You had a big old ice cream, fill it full of ice, and then you get a croaker sack and fold that thing all up in like a little square, put it on top of the ice cream thing that you make the ice cream with. I don't know what you call it, but one of those had to sit on top of it so it wouldn't move, and the other one had to crank it. When you get tired of cranking, you just swap positions. But oh man, that's some good ice cream. I was telling you more about the other day. I saw something on TV like that.
So again, for you Yankees and non-country people, do you want to explain to them what a croaker sack is?
It's a croaker sack. It's a sack that is made in out of, I don't know what kind of fiber and stuff like that.
So is it a burlap bag?
Yes, there you go. That's what it is.
Why y'all call it a croaker sack? Do you catch cod in there or something?
That's what it was. Croaker sack. That's what you bought was croaker sack. You didn't buy burlap bags. That's probably Yankee talk.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Well, people, you Yankees and Western Coast people and Upper East Coast people all are getting a lesson in how country this man is. I'm looking up on the internet. It's a croaker sack. It's a burlap bag, people. And actually, yeah, it's CROKER.
Yeah.
So it's not CROAK. It's a sack of coarse material such as burlap.
That's what you put everything in was a croaker sack. You tied it up. And you can save it and do whatever you want to do with it.
The origin of the word is unknown.
Oh, is that right?
Yep, but it's in Merriam-Webster's dictionary. And so I guess it is a real word, people. Imagine that.
A lot of times when we cured ham, because we always killed 2 or 3 hogs every year, we had a smokehouse back at the back. You take some of those ham and wrap them up in a croaker sack, and you store them in rock salt and keep them. And you eat off of those things after a while. We didn't have much.
So you kind of cured the ham, basically, didn't you?
Yeah. You had to cure it. And your grandpa used to spoil the heck out of you. He also burned you with a cigarette, too.
Yeah, different times. We didn't use car seats. We didn't use bicycle helmets. Kids rode in the back of pickup trucks. Yeah, it was different times. We were much tougher back then.
Yes, you were, because you lived out, you played out, and you survived doing those things. Had more fun.
You survived in spite of the lack of safety.
Exactly. But those are fun times going over to your granny's house when all the family come down, Uncle Gene, and of course Ray and Carolyn and stuff like that. They're
a house too small for all of the people that came.
Yeah. And boy, your granny, she had those pictures of Auburn all over the house. She wouldn't let us take them down either. Because one of your cousins went to Auburn and she had on a golf scholarship. That's the only time we reached Auburn. Everything else Alabama. But so Gene and I would say, Mom, we got to take that stuff down. We got to put Alabama stuff. Oh no, we can't take that down. She was protective of all of her grandkids and great grandkids.
Yes, she was.
She was one heck of a woman.
And on that note, we have hit our time. We've hit our mark. Otherwise, we'll just keep rambling and telling old stories. And I don't know, maybe you guys want to hear that stuff. Maybe you want to hear more stories.
If your granny is listening, we're going to give a shout out to her up there with your papa.
Sure will.
All right. Until next time. Well, how many downloads we have? You didn't talk about that. I didn't give you a chance.
The last couple of days, not so much. As a matter of fact, 0 the last couple of days. But we are A little over 3,300, 3,314 total downloads. Again, like I said, from California to Texas, Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, Virginia, Pennsylvania, Massachusetts.
Oh,
All the way
okay.
up to Massachusetts, Indiana. Yeah, so like that, North Carolina. We're all over, man. And still just that one from Australia this month. But none from Canada so far. Maybe they
Well,
don't like us no more.
I hope that's the same one from Australia. We're going to give him a shout out.
It's from the western part of Australia, so I don't know. I think the other ones were either from Victoria. Yeah, I think they were from Victoria.
All right. Well, we'll stay after it and see what we do. And give a shout out to my 4 granddaughters, Kaylee, Erica, Jordan, and Mackenzie. Love them girls. And all.
And I do too. Even though I don't get invited to my only niece's birthday dinner.
Well,
I'm gonna tell Mom on you.
you're going to take that up with them, not me. I just go tag along and pay the bill.
You need to let them know, I'm still part of this family too.
Yes, you are. Uh-oh. All
What's
right.
up?
Oh, what the hell? I moved my mouse and something else started covering the screen. I don't know what the hell that was.
Oh, Lord. The old people in technology, don't let them
Boy,
touch nothing.
I'm telling you. All right. See you next Sunday,
All
if
right.
not sooner.
Yep, sure will. All right, everybody, y'all take care.
Love you, son.
Love you too, Dad. And happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody.